Water damage is one of the biggest threats to RVs, and the scary part, it often goes unnoticed until it's way too late. As a certified RV tech, I've seen a lot of issues inside of RVs, and there's 4 places people don't normally check. I'm going to walk you through in this video, so let's get into it. Now our first area is going to be in a slide out, so let's go down here and check it out. And always watch out for cats and cages. He says it's dry down here, so we're doing good. So what happens is water comes down the wall of the RV, and near the floor area, on this part of the trim, you'll have sealant gaps. The manufacturers don't really seal this area very well. You can even see right here, looking really, really close, there's a little bit of a gap that's forming on the left-hand side there. So when water comes down here, it'll come behind this trim, wick into the floor, and this is a slide-out ski, this plastic piece down here. This helps the slide out go in and out. But when the water gets behind there, what I'll see is that slide-out ski will go down because the floor swells up, and then there's a large gap right here where water goes into the floor even more. So keeping all this trim in here sealed up doesn't always have to be pretty, but is effective, keeping the water out from the screws and from the slide-out ski. Now the second most common area I see is the lower T-molding. So this is a bedroom slide-out, or it could be a front living room slide-out. Usually the front ones do this more so compared to the back ones. But this sealant goes right along here at the bottom of this trim. The sealant can become loose and crack, and water gets behind there. So if I push on this here, you'll see a little bit of water squishing behind there. You can see a little bit of that mold in there. So that sealant is not stuck behind there. Look down in there, you'll see a little bit of some green and some mold. So water is coming down here for rainwater. And what happens is underneath of here, the floor starts getting soft. So you can see this is spongy down here in this corner. We go back this way, it's firm. So we can kind of tell the direction the water came from, which is right behind this trim. So it's coming in the outside wall, coming down to here, and rotting out the floor. Well, eventually this floor will have to be replaced. We're on the RV roof. It's a little bit breezy, so I have the little fuzzy ball on it to hopefully keep the wind noise out. We're gonna go down to the slide out roof tape trim. So what I see a lot of times for this tape trim on top of the RV roof, or slide out roof I should call it, is this is a screw right below here. So you see a little bit of a bubble around that. That's gonna be normal because you have to have a transition from the screw, which is higher, to the roof. But if a tape isn't stuck properly, you'll see this bubble go all the way to this outside edge. It'll be almost all the way across. If you peeled that tape back, you would see water, dirt, and debris behind there. And what this tape is doing is keeping water from going into your slide out wall, because this is that T-molding that you saw just below a second ago. The water can go down the wall, rot out the floor if it gets in the top right around these screws. So keep an eye on these areas. You can relayer or redo the tape if needed, but it's a very popular area for water to come inside of a slide out. Now we're in the bathroom for the next area, and this is a trim around the skylight. If you start noticing darkness around here, what that means is the water is leaking in your skylight on the roof. So these are things you can check inside of your RV when you're using it daily. Other areas like the roof vents, you will find staining around this as well, just like you would in that skylight. If you have dark spots around these areas, that means water is leaking into your RV and you need to fix that right away. Now for some frequently asked questions. Question number 1, is the cat harmed sitting in his cage? Nope, you can see he loves sitting outside in his cage, sunbathing. We'll take him in so he can use a break once in a while, and he demands to go right back outside. Now question number 2, what tools can I use to check for water damage? Well, you can use a flashlight to look in those dark areas to check for gaps and cracks in the sealant. You can use a moisture meter if you want to go a little bit further and check the moisture level of that wall or that floor. This is a great tool for that. Just keep in mind, if you come across an aluminum stud in your wall of the RV, it can spike the moisture with this meter. And also, just visually checking all of the areas. Walking around your RV, this is great practice to do when you're doing things like dumping your holding tanks, when you're sitting outside waiting for water to fill, water to drain. Just look at all your seams and seals. If you notice a little gap, mark it down and come back and seal it. And that rolls into our third question, is how often should I check for water damage inside of my RV, or outside in some cases? Is on a regular basis. If you're full-time in your RV, monthly is pretty common. But if you use your RV seasonally, that is typically twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. Now the last big question is, what is the cost to repair water damage? Well, there is a wide range in that. Slide out floors are easily into the multiple thousands of dollars. if you have wall damage and things like that, that RV might not be repairable in some of those situations. So preventing it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of ongoing maintenance money, but saves you a lot in the long run. If you're looking to learn more about RVs, you'll want to check out the RV education page on our website, where we have more helpful information and resources for RV owners and techs. You can also sign up for my weekly newsletter to get more videos like this. That way you never miss out. And in case you're wondering, all the links to the things I talked about in this video are in the description.